Buenos dias. I heard someone say a while back on a podcast episode that complaining is the only zero return on investment activity that we can partake in. And it really got me thinking. I was like, is that true? Do I believe that? And after a bunch of rumination, the answer that I came up with was yes and no. I see where the person was coming from and the point that they were making, and I also see potential value in a complaint. And so as a result of hearing this statement and pondering it, I came up with what I've found to be a super helpful little rule for myself, and I thought that I'd share it with you because you may find it useful too. And it is the one and done rule, meaning I get to complain about something once and only once. And then after I've discovered, identified, and acknowledged said complaint, I then have two options. The first option is to take actionable steps to change my situation, i.e., doing something about it. And the second option is to not take actionable steps to change my situation, i.e., do nothing about it. But like the statement implies, it is a one and done dealio, meaning I do not give myself the option to just continue complaining about the same thing over and over. Because if I'm not willing to do anything about it after identifying it, I am in fact choosing it. And complaining about something that I'm choosing is, in my opinion, ridiculous. Now, we often need the complaint to become aware of something that we're unsatisfied with. However, after we acknowledge that complaint, it is absolutely a zero return on investment to continue complaining. I would actually argue that it's not just a zero return on an investment. It's like going into the red because by definition, the complaint is requiring energy and we're getting absolutely nothing in return. So it's energy in and no energy out, resulting in a deficit or lack of energy. On the other hand, if we catch ourselves complaining about something and it supports us to identify a dissatisfaction, we can then put our energy into the how of remedying said complaint. That is an amazing return on our investment. Again, hence the one and done rule. Or if we catch ourselves complaining about something and it helps us to identify a dissatisfaction, however, we're not willing to put in the work required to remedy said dissatisfaction, then we can take that complaint off the table because we're choosing to do nothing about it, which is not bad by any means, because it's just getting more and more clarity around what our priorities are. Losing fat is hard. That is a reality. But it is very different to complain over and over about how hard it is to lose fat and do nothing about it versus complain once and then be like, well, it is what it is, and I'm either willing or not willing to do what's required. And so that's that. Because with a repeated complaint, it's actually a denial of reality, right? It's a sneaky little form of delusion because it's wishing that life wasn't the way that it is. For example, fat loss requires what it requires, which is a calorie deficit. It's just thermodynamics. And that is not something that we have the power to change. It's simply a fact of life. Whether we choose to do what's required to lose fat or change careers or improve relationships is totally up to us. The option is on the table. However, the requirement is the unchangeable element. And so we can be so much more efficient in our lives by focusing on what we can change and changing, or simply acknowledging that we don't want to meet the requirement and therefore we don't want that result. Also, one of the things that's just so obvious about complaints is that no one cares about our complaints even close to as much as we do. Like, how enjoyable is it to hear someone complain about the same thing over and over? Like, fuck, get me out of here, right? And so I found this to be a great little rule to one, take our power back or stop giving our power away, and two, be a whole lot more fun to be around. Now, a great way to identify complaints is simply to write them down. Or if you're having a hard time identifying, just write down what you are unsatisfied with in your life currently, or what you would like to change or improve. Once you write these things down, the second step is to acknowledge and or find out what's required to get the outcome that you want instead. And then all you have to do is ask yourself whether you're willing to do what's required or not. If the answer is yes, amazing, do it. If the answer is no, that's also amazing, don't do it. And either way, that complaint is now off the table. Toss it in the garbage and only entertain it again if what you're willing to do changes. Super simple stuff. However, it does require courage because whether we're saying yes to change or being really honest with ourselves about what we're unwilling to change, we have to be courageous enough to own the outcome. If you're interested in applying for one-on-one nutritional coaching and or workout design with me, you can click the link in the description below or head on over to n1fitness.com/coaching. On Instagram, I'm at N1Fitness. On TikTok, I'm at the N1Fitness. And on YouTube, I'm at Marcus Sadu. Feel free to leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform, if you'd like to, of course. And be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that you found this episode useful, and I will catch you on the next one. See ya.